Talk to us about the economic benefits to Hong Kong. Largely, this is an event that attracts international tourists to come to Hong Kong for this. Are you able to give us an idea, of course, from the November event, the financial figures that it was able to bring in, and a projection for this one?
Yeah, so I think we're seeing obviously back to normality, as you said earlier. We've seen a lot more international interest this time. About 20% of the public ticket sales have been from overseas. But the particular area we've seen international interest is around the corporate entertainment area. And if you've been in Hong Kong this week, you'll have seen lots and lots of visitors from overseas attending corporate meetings, corporate events. So we've sold out all of the corporate boxes, which is very encouraging. And I think a lot of companies have taken the opportunity to have events, bring people in and do client entertainment, etc. In terms of the numbers, we generated about 35 million Hong Kong dollars in November, which is quite a lot of that was deferred revenue, which was effectively covering some of the costs that we'd incurred during COVID. This year, difficult to tell, but probably something around double that. So with the corporate box sales and the ticket sales, that really obviously helps the rugby union, because that surplus we reinvest back into the game here in Hong Kong.
Now, the Hong Kong Rugby Union incurred a loss in a couple of years due to COVID. How has that been trying to make that back up? You touched on it briefly. When do you expect to be able to break even and profitable?
Well, I think we've always, we don't look at it as a profit in the sense, because we're a national sports association. We very much look at the sevens as a way of generating revenue to reinvest in the game. Clearly, during COVID, it was very challenging. We had to halve the headcount. We had to reduce costs very significantly. We were very lucky that we had quite a lot of reserves in place, so we were able to use some of that. We didn't use it all, but we used a little proportion of that to bridge the gap during COVID. So I think now the encouraging thing is that we can take some of the surplus that we've got, put some in reserves for the future if we need to, but also reinvest it back into the domestic game and support our representative programs plus the community game in Hong Kong.
You had to cut 50% of your staff as a result of COVID. With this rebirth coming back, are you able to hire some people back?
Yeah, we're gradually rehiring. I mean, I think, like many organisations coming out, rebuilding and resetting out of COVID, we have to be careful about how we rebuild. But we are looking to recruit some additional resources in priority areas for the union. So supporting the representative program, which is where some of the major cuts were made, but also making sure that we've got enough to support the domestic game and some of our community foundation work as well.